Step 2 done. Step 3, you've done your own, then, won't you? Okay, everybody up. This is in the form of horseshoe because I kind of like them to be able to see what we're up to. Yeah, correct. Okay. So just basically follow me. 1, 2. Do you want to get away from the wall, Phil? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, reaching up. 1, 2, and then going through. 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can open your shoulder as you turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, left hand up. Nice relaxed wrist. Drop them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you're doing this, you're looking out and you're taking stuff on board. Don't go into your own little world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And with a drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With this one, it's advisable to let your knees go out, because if I keep them in, I end up having this bent back. If I go out, I can keep a nice straight back, and I always want to develop this habit of keeping a nice straight back. Because, okay, so you can keep your knees narrow, you get down as low as you can. Okay, then you push them over, and a little wide, please. And it's quite stable. So we want to develop that as a habit, because even if you're standing, you can stay in the back position if you like.
Okay.
That's good. No, standing.
No, sorry, yeah.
But just bow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's not very stable. And this is. And the amount of times you see people throw people like this, and they come to this position, if they get caught in that position, and someone attacks from behind, they're going to get knocked over. So one kind of make it used to throw. Oh, okay, what's going on? Okay. Where was I up to? Oh, yeah. Then we did all that. Wrist to left. Right, so left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let your elbows come down. That's it. Good. Do you know why?
No.
I'll tell you why. Do that. So if I test you now, over you go.
Okay.
Down. And now you're stable. So, Aikido for daily life for a reason, because we try to observe kind of the rules of nature to start with. That's our starting point. Gravity always takes you down. When you fight gravity, you're having to work. We don't like working, we like it just to be easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maximum efficiency, minimum energy. 4, 5. Again, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to be your fingers up, and they're going back towards your wrist up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you can look at the palm of your hand. This hand goes all the way round. Little finger is the crease of your wrist. Thumb between little finger and ring finger. And just dropping down, so you're stretching the wrist. You want this to drop down your centre line. Okay, just as an experiment. Okay, so if you just drop down there and stay there. Okay, test. Nice, good. Don't drop down the centre line. Come off it. Yeah. Okay, so we're unstable. Yeah. So another core principle is that all our work is done around this pivot point. You put a spike through the middle like a merry-go-round horse or whatever. That's kind of the line that we're turning around at all times in our movement. Even when we're walking, there's the roll of the hip as we walk, isn't there? So we're always pivoting around that central spot. We want to keep our axis dead straight as much as we can. Yeah. Okay. What are we doing? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Swap hands. 1, 2, here, so palm out, thumb down, fingers over the top, thumb down the back. You're twisting the wrist this way whilst extending out, making sure that you stay below shoulder height. Okay, can that stop? Okay, so if I test.
Not thinking stretching, I don't know what I'm doing with this one.
Okay, well, you are stretched. Okay, yeah.
So maybe a bit longer?
Yeah,
Is that what I'm
you
doing?
could push it a little more if you wanted to.
Okay, so it's along there.
Yeah. So that's good. Just raise your hands. So now if I put them above his shoulder, not bad. You can maintain good stability, but this is not ideal. You want to keep it below shoulder height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a good shake. Oh, that wasn't the case. Alright. Okay, so a little bit of Aikido under. So left foot forward, right foot behind. This one's pointing a little to the left, that one's pointing a little bit to the right, and basically we're rocking backwards and forwards. Okay, so you want to bend that front leg, because if you don't bend the front leg, this exercise becomes like that, and we've just explained that that's never good. So you've got to travel on your pelvis, and the way to do that is to rock backwards and forwards so that your upper body can stay straight. If you go too far, then your back will bend, and then we know you're weak. You'll begin to lose connection with the back of the floor. Yeah. So stop when you think you're comfortable. Okay. Good. Go just a tiny bit more, and then over you go. Good. A little bit more. There you go. That's good. For a little bit more. Oh, well held. A little bit further. Doesn't take much. Very nice.
Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah, I didn't need to tell you. Good. A little bit more. So you kind of ask yourself the question, why did I stop there? And it's because your body, basically, you're in touch with it the whole time. When you pay attention to it, and actually when you switch your brain off and don't listen, you are listening. And it says stop, and you stop. Okay. When you try to think about it, then you'll turn off those signals. So just let your body do it, and you'll end up in the right place. It's a good lesson from most of our Aikido. Let your body do it. Don't think about what you're going to do. And the body mechanics kind of sort themselves out. It's when you overly think it. Okay, so as we're doing that, then our hands go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch feet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so what we don't want to do is this. So at the moment you're coming to here, movement to here is great, and then you're doing that. Let your arms continue to flow away, your elbow come away from your body. I know I've often said keep your elbows by your side in a lot of it, but on this technique you let it come out. Okay. 1, 2, that's it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Because you want there to be a flow of energy. This should not be finishing where your fingers finish. You should be like chucking a bucket of water over the person opposite you. They probably need to cool you down. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, so we're going to do side under. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And now we're going to turn into the centre. So like this. And then back. So, try not to do it like that. You want to stay quite low to the ground, but do pick your feet up. As you go that way, focus everything that way. As you turn, everything goes that way. Then you switch. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. With real focus. Okay. We all need to aim for the centre, otherwise it's going to be chaos. 1, 2. So, I'll do this slowly. This comes in front, it's a half turn. The back foot comes round, there's another turn. And you draw exercise. Why do we do it?
Well, it's one of the Aikido fundamentals.
It isn't, yeah, but to the outsider, it's not obvious why we do this.
That's what it is.
So why do we do it? Those of us who are not Aikido beginners, tell me why. Oh, that's you then.
Well, for me, the way I see it is more about like, understanding how you move and keep your balance, how you rotate, and also, again, keep your center down, having awareness of where you're turning. Also,
Yes, yeah, all of those things. But also a lot of our techniques are about trying to move into our partner's place. Yeah? We don't kind of work in triangles. We don't do that. We're turning. Yeah? So we want to get used to this rotation of our body and being able to do all the things that you just said about staying centered, staying grounded, being able to drop your hips a little bit. And to do that in a really, really focused and controlled way.
can I also perhaps add one more thing?
Right.
Something that perhaps not to do is when you're turning, do not allow your other leg to swing out. You want to turn around and just basically walk back. Kind of like turn the hips first.
You are
not
just,
allow your
you are
your
just
leg to do it.
stepping.
Yeah.
You're stepping and rotating your hips at the same time. And then the last thing maybe to remember is not to worry about your arms. Otherwise, it kind of looks like little Mickey. Okay, just they will rise as you turn. Centrifugal force is a wonderful thing. You don't have to oppose it. They'll rise as far as centrifugal force says they should rise. Okay, then the only other thing you need to be aware of is who's around you and how much space you've got. Because if you're flailing out here and you've got two people here, then you're going to hit them in the face. So then just dial down the energy a bit. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Great, okay, pretty close comfortable. So for the last many months, I've been trying to work to a theme in these lessons. So take an idea that I think is important to Aikido, but I also think it's generally helpful off the mat as well, and then apply it within our technique. So we use our physical model of the Aikido to demonstrate why this idea might be important and how we apply it within our technique, but then maybe to get a glimpse as to how that might be helpful elsewhere. And my theme tonight is acceptance. Okay? Why acceptance? Why did I choose to use that word? And why is it important? What place does it have on the mat and off it? Come on, you're all intelligent people. Yes?
Well, again, how I perceive it is more about rather than trying to oppose an attack, try to understand kind of like the mechanics of the movement and allow kind of like myself not to lose kind of like calmness and work around it.
Yes.
So accept basically the attack in terms of
Yes.
acceptance.
Yes. Many martial arts seek to block rather than to accept an attack. So they counter it rather than working with it, if that makes sense. Okay. We in Aikido, we choose to fully receive it rather than anything else. So if Nick is going to punch me, I don't say, no, stop, no, you can't do that, you're not allowed to hit me, because that's not nice. If he wants to have a go, I let him have a go, I just am not there. Okay, so if he's there, I can't, go on, fall to the floor. You're not falling to the floor, what's going on? So that's no good, I can't do anything with him there. It's not a problem over there, I don't need to do any defence. Right? But if he attacks me, now I'm safe, but he's here. So he's vulnerable. So I can show him that maybe punching somebody wasn't a smart idea. It seemed like a good idea, it seemed like he might end the problem, but what he actually did was he created one. So that's the whole point of Aikido. You use that energy that you're getting from your partner and direct it somewhere else. So if we did that in a slightly fuller form, he's coming forward, I go forward, and when he arrives on my doorstep, okay, that's the consequence of your action. Yep. Okay. So acceptance can actually lead to a lot of positive places, and I would say it's the first step in resolving any problem. Yep. If you don't accept you've got a problem, it's really hard to deal with it because you're kind of denying it and you're not taking on board the consequence of it and what's going to happen with the consequences. As soon as you start to accept it and appreciate really what's going on, then that gives you all the information you need to resolve it. So I think this is a much bigger issue than just what we're doing on the mat. It's actually just generally a way forward in life. Okay? You're not going to change the things you don't like about yourself unless you fully look them in the face and say, that's something I don't like about myself. It causes this problem and that problem and this problem. I need to change it. And then when you've taken it on board, it's so much easier to work out your route map out. Okay? So, before he's attacked, I don't know where this technique's going to go. When he attacks, I know that that's the direction to take it in initially. He's giving me all the information I need to resolve this particular situation. Okay, perhaps it's a little less easy in life to know which direction to take it, but usually when you've taken on board all the information, you can see all the options. And you can work out what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you. And even if you choose the wrong option first time, you say, well, okay, now I can try option B, now I can try option C. After a while, you get just cleverer and more aware, and you tend to make the right choices more often than not, which is, again, something we repeat on the mat. We make mistakes when we're learning a new technique. We choose the wrong options when we're in free flow, randori or whatever. After a while, we begin to learn where to move and how to move and what positioning we need to take up, where the center of the energy is in any of these exploits. Okay, so what we're going to have, just to start this, is I'm going to take my shoulder and I'm not going to tell him whether to pull or push, but I'm going to have to feel it and I'm going to try and move. So if it's a push, okay, it's not a push, that's all right, I had to accept what's going on. Even if a push, then maybe I'll turn it up like that. Yeah? So don't anticipate what's going to happen. Try to feel what's going to happen, what is happening, and move in the right direction. That's our starting point. Off we go. Okay. If you haven't done it already. If I could just borrow you for a second, Nico.
Oh, sorry.
Can I just borrow you for a second? Okay, so you stand here, he's going to... That's right. No, just you. So if he's pushing, maybe I'm going to do that. If he's pulling, maybe I'll do something like that. So if I'm stuck in a wheelchair, Vitaly, and he's pulling, I don't really want to be pulled out. I just need to redirect this into something else. Yeah? If it's pushing, that's fine, that's going to be much easier to work with. Yeah? So I'm going to be aware of my limitations. My choices are not to be pulled out of the wheel just pulling. That's never going to do me any good. Right? So I'm going to have to just change it. That's reasonably effective, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Pull again, or my arm go down. Up is the only way. Yeah. Okay, so you carry on now. Slowly. Got someone online who's in a wheelchair now. I'm not trying to so yeah, you have that space now. Good. A little bit of fine tuning. So say you're pulling. Quite like your cycle on the mat making quite a loud noise. Just become more aware of it sooner and put your feet up a little more.
So we're going to push again, but now turn, we can actually come shoulder to shoulder to the wheel.
So that's
the best way. Yeah, because you may end up like being back to this
so you dragged your foot into the yes. So like that. So keep your ears tuned. Yeah. If you can't hear it,
if you look down and touch shoulder to shoulder, then you're in the good position. So you can compare 99% of all attacks that any person can use.
And when you
This is the best way.
roll up,
It is here,
pick that
and
up.
to the back. It is
So
very good.
Does that?
You try to turn. It means
Yes.
it's
Just,
here.
just.
It's
Let it
more-
off-
the
come
onus
off
is
the
for
mat.
me to start.
A little bit.
You can only stay there forever. So if I turn, you can as well. So now you're in control of my movement.
Yes. That's good. How did it
Because I
feel?
cannot really react this way. I cannot really raise my collarbones this way. So I need to kind of reposition.
That's another way of accepting
the
it.
state.
Just to go back.
Something.
That's okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, because usually, usually, statistically relevant, when I was attacking, I had to research.
So what is your vision?
That take away so the light so I can
The rest takes care of itself. Because she comes to
So
you.
for example, some people go 1, 2, so the top values, my attack, so attacking, center line. Center line.
That was better than
Center line. So as soon as you realize something is happening internal, that's why it's extremely difficult to like when you ask for
So I can't hear much, which is good.
or
If I can't hear any noise, I'm not attracted to it.
Okay,
It
right.
means it's going well.
These are squeals, tension.
Oh yes, squeals attract attention too. So I guess, so when somebody grabs whatever it is they grab, then the pressure you feel is the place they're applying the pressure.
Yeah,
So it moves
in the beginning, as soon as you realize
So I'm feeling pressure, trying to come from the shoulder. If she's pulling, my shoulder she's pulling, it needs to come forward. And I don't want just my shoulder to come forward because that's not going to be very helpful. All of them needs to come forward in a very controlled way. So what I'm saying right at the beginning about doing our whole body work for us,
yes,
we want a bit of a smooth
but
forward.
if you do that, like that, you need to put a lot of strength because I'm using it with you. Absolutely, it's going to be very hard for you to be able to do it. But you can even push forward. And you can do it. Only, well, this point, just do this, you know what? Yeah, it's kind of almost like this. It's just this. And almost like second, like thank you for holding it. Strong?
No, you wouldn't.
Oh,
Okay, so-
It seems very difficult.
Okay.
It's not about like,
So-
you know, I accept it.
I'm accepting what's going on, or what's the problem with this? Yeah, I'm making myself very vulnerable, aren't I, to knees and this and stuff. So this is a question of, I've accepted it, I've seen an option, I've just chosen the wrong one. It's not the best option. So, as she put it,
Bracing to do something, you brace yourself. So you're already braced.
if she continues to push,
Only that.
then she'll come to my
Bracing like
side.
that.
Put that on my side. If the push stops after I turn, then I
Yes, 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 yes. Because now,
So I'm raising my shoulder,
like
that's
perception,
this is the good
side
side.
tension, you quit.
It feels like
Again, difficult.
first thing
You don't know.
is first to push.
It's still like standing straight up.
So remember our stance is like this.
It's just,
Obviously, I have to not achieve. Just holding exactly as
You can rotate either way.
Because we're standing square.
Yeah,
It's really possible to,
I get it. So I'm not offering this, I'm offering that.
yeah,
So that makes this possible. Okay. Right, so this is a good one for you to time. Pushing from the shoulder. No, you're going to push from the shoulder, please. Okay, so he's got the height. And I thought you're going to push. So if I resist this, he's got a big advantage. 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose that battle, unless you're immensely big and he's much smaller than you. So what I have to do instead is I have to accept what's happening. What's happening is there's energy coming at me. Okay, I can do something with that. I can ground it. So I can take this energy and I can use that to bolt me to the floor in a way. If you want to picture that, nail me to the floor. So rather than trying to come up, and he's already higher than me, so his down is probably going to win that, I think, all right, he wants to go down and through, so I'll do that, thanks. And then this doesn't take any energy at all. So by going with it, rather than against it, suddenly what seemed like a really difficult situation becomes just neutral. And while he's focusing on doing that, boom, and then I'm doing something. So, I'm sure you all want to try that. Off we go. Laura, please work with Andy. I know has done Aikido before, as you can plainly see, but she may not want to do this exercise.
Sorry, yeah, like me
I
first.
know you need to start it. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to follow
Yeah,
me.
person is going to resist.
Never smart, is it? It doesn't push back.
Yeah, kind of thicker. Obviously, I want to be there because we're going to fly somewhere.
So my touch is very light. If I'm doing that, I must be pushing against you. So I don't want to push against you. And in my mind, I take that.
Right.
And
You can only follow the choice.
try it. If I think about my toes,
Resistance to time.
well, if I think of my
Yeah, eventually,
knees,
like, even though it's not like a weight difference, still it's not the upper hand presents taking you over. Now, you're going to sit in. Fair enough, you take me down. These things.
no. The other thing is,
Placement, what the whole like, I know this nervous system also to making things happen.
curling back towards me.
Think you're going down the key now, vertical release.
That's a little problematic. Here I'm better able to receive.
Normal strength,
So I'm not
more or less.
sending energy that way. I'm not really
Yeah, so like fine. I'm taking you down, moving down, so I say, okay, I'm down.
really good and positive.
Almost as
Is
if
it better?
Ooh, that's a lot better.
Oh, that's better. So not 100% where you want to be, but there's at least 20 or 30% improvement there. How are you doing? Let's have a look.
Magic. Yeah, it's of course it is.
It looks pretty good. So how hard are you trying, Laura?
I could go harder, but my knees
Lose contact. I can see they've just kind of Okay. So, Laura, you come to me. So firstly, notice
It's not like pushing.
don't grab, because I'm definitely trying to fight something. Grabbing straight over.
Yeah.
How light is my touch? So I want this to be in the flow of her energy. Physical energy, key, whatever you want to believe in. I want it to be in the flow. So I'm not, although my fingers are pointing towards her, actually, he's the flow. And what I'm finding is that actually if I allow that to go to like my toes, where my toes are, rather than think of the front of my knee,
Okay, maybe what do you want? Like just play that.
And you are not holding your breath at all.
I think I might have been holding my breath a little bit, but I don't need to.
Ideal position.
Hopefully you don't feel, do not feel any push into this. You should feel nothing really other than I feel very solid. And the fact that I'm talking suggests I might be breathing. Okay. How are we doing here? Okay, so if you, I think your head's come down a little bit. Yeah. So that's a little problematic. You want to have this nice posture. And the only thing that changes when it comes to do this is that you meet it. Okay. Did you feel my touch? It's very light, isn't it? Okay. So there's no sense of no, you shouldn't be here. Go away. It's very much a
Better, definitely better. Wow, just a small thing that makes so much changes.
Make sure you get a go. Okay, I will. Okay, so I'm just going to put my hands over. Hands are light, but there should be. Did it feel like I was connected?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to push me for a second. So I want to give you a difference, right? So that's really light touch.
Your back is kind of
But I'm not really connected. I'm trying to observe the light touch.
Find a comfortable place, basically.
Yeah, there you are. You should feel just like I'm joining you. Is it subtle? It's subtle, but can you feel it? Yeah. So I'm interested in you, rather than this shape.
I use
I've
all
got
the
to touch
power.
you like that. Yeah, so show a bit more interest in that. Solid, right? Are you getting it down? Yes.
Well, as long as you enjoy it,
Yeah. It's pretty good, I know.
Yeah, I decided to be. I don't know how much to expect.
Can you feel it's getting better?
Yes.
I can see the right knee coming up a little bit,
Yes.
but it's better.
Yes.
Okay, so the next thing maybe, that's what you do, you let her touch, and then you can move. A little bit of her's already gone through. So as she's coming, you,
Well, that's what it's like.
so you want that unification.
you don't want to keep your breath, you want to also kind of like, breathe naturally.
See if that helps.
Just by exhaling, it means your muscles also actually relax.
So you put the.
That's better.
But it's not like.
Was it? Yeah?
Yes, it is. It's amazing.
Yeah. So Aikido is all about blending, isn't it?
Yes.
So that you have to anticipate, there's an energy which is coming forward to push. So the intention from her is there before she touches.
Mm-hmm.
You have to feel the intention and blend with that.
Yes.
Bend a little bit, oh my God, more to go back. That just makes a lot of moving so you can actually.
It's about like a connection.
See if I can do it, it's a lot harder.
Okay, so just try and pick up on a few things. Okay, so it does really help if I'm feeling comfortable in myself. Okay, so for me that means I'm using my structure correctly. Okay, so this kind of posture rarely works. Okay, so over a long time now I've developed this awareness that I only feel good when my back's straight. Right, so I try to keep my back nice and straight. Okay, so also I need to develop this awareness to that. Okay, he's doing it, so you just one fluid movement. It's too late. Yeah. His movement, his thought to come in and push me happened before he touched me. He can't touch me from there. Try pushing me from there. Oh, I'm amazing. This is so strong. I'm cramping my toe, which isn't comfortable. All right, so the exercise begins here. Yeah, so I blend at the moment his touch comes. His energy comes before his touch. And the speed of my movement is determined by his speed. Yeah? So do that again. This is no good. I've kind of anticipated what's going to happen. Whatever happens, I've got to be ready for it. Yeah? There's no with acceptance, there's no pushback. Acceptance means, okay, bring it on. Yeah? That's okay, you can bring it to me. Okay? So, if you think about an argument that you have with people, does it help to solve the problem if you don't listen to everything they've got to say first? if you only listen to half of what they think is wrong, you'll only come up with half a solution. You need to hear everything. So when someone says, "You're a bloody idiot," no, it's no good to go back reading and say, "No, you're a bloody idiot." You need to be saying, "Okay, tell me a bit more about that. Why am I a bloody idiot? Okay, and you did this, you did that, did that. Okay, well, which of those was the most important for you? All right, well, what if I did this? Would that make a difference for you? Yeah, that would make a difference. Fine, you solved your problem. Because you listened to everything and then you began to prioritise, you dealt with the most important thing. The most important thing here is he's trying to push me over from the shoulders. So I accept that. So, oh, that's fine. Okay. Just be better. That looks good. How does that feel now?
I felt the energy.
Yes.
I just a little bit lost contact,
Okay.
but I feel more balanced.
Yes, you looked more relaxed, and you looked like you had good control throughout.
Yeah.
Knowledge is everything. You can control a situation when you know what's happening.
Nice enough, right? Just still, as long as no panic, everything's going to be
Okay, so you're leaning into your dad a little bit. Okay, so you're kind of doing that already. Your subconscious said, "I'm going to need to resist this. I need to do the best possible shape." So actually, no, you're really open to this. If you're not open to it, you can't receive it.
No.
Okay.
Actually, so wasn't brilliant.
You do it again, and can you? I want to just sit here and watch this as soon as I hand. So the first thing is you shouldn't hang out soon. You should be reacting to the fact that he's walking towards you.
Doing more as an exercise than an
Yeah, that's fine. Also, what you're doing is you're bringing my hands to my question. So it's very up and down rather than in the flow.
Okay, I should be
So when I have my
holding
hands here,
like this, right? Just
Nice and light.
so I could
So,
say
you've got the same
We're actually doing now, we're doing like how much you can heal, still maintain your
okay,
structure.
fine. All right, well, I just think you still want to just further. First, it allows me to get more into this flow and have a flat palm. So I don't want to be that sort of shape. I want to be blending into this. And then, yeah, I can. That looks pretty good. Oh, just because I moved your mind, but you actually did. He was doing a good job there. You were. One more. Okay.
that was a lot.
Okay, so we've adopted two strategies so far, and he was pushing from the shoulder, where you've got out of the way, where we come to us, which that was the wood direction of his push. And now then we did a technique where, so if you take my wrist, where basically you just absorb it to hold your ground. Okay? So if I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, and he's pushing, I probably don't want to take a step back. Not a good idea. Okay, so I might want to hold my ground here and come up with a technique from there. And on occasion,
I feel like
it's like a cliff edge.
Oh, okay, so
I saved you. I might just choose to go with this. Okay? So rather than just ground it and then come up with something, I actually go with flow. So you can practice a bit of both. So absorb it in, just take it and take it down to the back foot. I'm channeling it down to there. Okay, if I channel it down to the front leg, go on please. It just doesn't feel quite right. But if I let it flow down to the back leg, I can take quite a lot. Then I just redirect. He wants to come in, doesn't he? So I allow him to come in. He's expecting me to stop him. And I was saying, oh no, that's okay. I'll click with you. Yeah, so you can try that. So it's a tension hanging. Actually, we'll follow it.
Okay.
So, one step. Okay. And then when you've got that, because that's you'll be fine with that one. Okay. Here, you're going to take a step back. And bring the shin on. Okay. So don't go under it. So get on top of you. Don't go into it. This is reminding me of the child's book. I can't remember which one it is. Can't go around it, can't go under it. Gotta go through it. Now over the top. Okay. So one is going to come underneath to join, and one's going to go over the top. And then you cut down, across, and around. Okay? Right, so if I can borrow you to try and do some seated ones. Carry on, everybody. Have fun. Just allow me just a little space here for a minute. So the tension angle should be pretty simple. Not so simple. Finish. Yeah, okay. So there you have to concentrate, because I'm shorter than you in this posture. I have to really focus on the downward hand to complete this. I'm focusing on the upward hand more. Goes the problem. So just let this one drop big time and that one goes to where it's supposed to.
It's also like a rotation for this hand. Actually, if you just drop and rotate,
Yes.
I will actually fly over.
Okay. So I'm not going to do that. No. So now, so I think we're going to let them go around the back with me. So here. No, I can't do that. That doesn't feel comfortable.
Okay.
How does it feel to you?
Actually, there's a way of doing it.
Okay.
Here, and then, yeah.
It's a bit brutal.
But it works.
Okay. That's one if you want to try it. Or one, and I'd rather do a Kotegaeshi here. So it starts the same across the top, cut down, just transforming into a Kotegaeshi. Do that slowly. Across. This one comes across too. Comes down. Bringing the other hand in. And it's important that this one stays in contact. One more time on that. So I don't want you doing all of this stuff. While I'm with that, he's free to. I want to stay control there.
Actually, not both my hands.
Okay, hope that's helpful. Okay, pretty good, Phil. This one was to be right here, and this
Yes,
one was
go
to be right down. When you do this, over here, as opposed to here, there as well. Down. So, this one is going to be your down. As you push, if I accept it, my hand comes back to my body. The upping hand, can't do that. Because if you're pushing, you can stop it. Right? But what it can do,
Down.
push.
This
Is
goes
it can
down.
fold.
Step in.
So I can bring it in.
Keep it
And
down.
then that's pushing up. Yeah. So, yeah.
What about the other one? The one
You showed what
I did. I know very much using it. Come.
Yeah. So should we ask?
Test it out. So I shall. Don't be so surprised. Okay, just one thing. It is very traditional. You see it very often. sheer
Back to back.
I really don't like the fact that his elbow's so close to my face. I know he's not probably going to have time to use it, but I don't like it. It's horrible.
Well, that's not the problem. This is the problem.
I was going on to that.
Sorry.
The problem is, he can hit me from there. So maybe it's just before I throw him, he's got a chance to knife me. Okay? So yeah, he knows. I'm safe here. So it's better to continue your throw until you're looking down his ear. And his idea is actually to carry on to try and find a way to attack me, so he throws himself. I don't actually throw him. His intention continues. If he doesn't, then I can do it if I want to.
You're not thinking about where I'm giving you energy. You need it down.
Remember that, like when you bring back books, always, when you're next to me, it's your, this leg, not the other one.
No, I enjoyed that a bit.
Kenny. So this one,
Okay, good. I'll travel forward with that. Actually,
there's a reason.
carry on. Continue on your journey. Set the ball in the door in the way.
There's no control by going this way. You can always can use the other leg, but actually then you're exposing yourself more.
Yeah.
There's a weakness on the form. But see, you can keep yourself actually.
Yes, yeah.
I will, if I try to kind of use my ego to project down,
When you get down,
Almost done there. Yeah. So I will try to draw in any messages as you fall. Here's an opportunity. Yeah. So can be. And if I do this, I try to push down. Because I'm committing everything. And then it says like, okay, that's not really what we like in for, but it's something new. So yeah, so try that kind of that, especially with the gaming part. Yes.
Don't forget to travel. Bring it closer to you. So what I mean by that? Yeah, well, it's changing, right? So actually, he held on. That was probably I wasn't expecting that. That was a problem. If I carry on, you can hold on. That's okay. I don't lose my balance. I get to look away or run away or whatever. Yeah. So when we're in the throw, the dynamic between us is constantly changing.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
If he's changing, I should be changing all the time until it's done. Not stop at 90% because now I've thrown him. I should carry on the other 10% until he's on the floor and then on. So we always try to be with our partner until it's no longer. Or not trying to push against, but accept, carry on.
This way, unless you see the chicken leg.
Yep. Now we're together, I pivot around. You thought about trying to get it out again.
Yes.
Nice. And beauty is that it doesn't matter that you're not as big as him and not as strong as him. If you do this right, you get good strength.
Right.
It's very light. So, keep the centre. Full force. So I'm pulling quite hard. You tapped, but you're still standing, unfortunately. But now it's very light. Just 2 fingers. Okay, so when you have a fight it's really important that you send But
You can write that.
so if I do that, this feels very different. Because your body's not travelling up and down.
Remember,
You're still there, you're still up there.
once you turn,
Yeah.
short, just lift
I want to use the time she's spending bobbing up and down to create the spin.
into position. You're vulnerable. Now you're good. So, yeah, so stop. Don't push. At this point, see where is my center line. Yeah, that's it.
General idea.
Anyone else? I will resist.
It was that. Oh, right. And then we have to go. And then we do this one.
I will show you.
Yep.
We're doing the same.
Okay. So, this is good, right? So, when you meet a problem, it's a chance to learn. You say, oh, I got it wrong again. Or, you can, okay, that as a strategy isn't working. Okay, so if you think about it, where are our fingers pointing? Kind of backwards. So, actually, if she's going to go anywhere, she'll probably walk backwards if I follow that. I want the ground. Oh, the ground's down there. Yeah, so I can be pretty certain that her energy will go to the end.
There's no need for that.
So, difficult, but if I redirect the energy down, then it will come back. And then don't pull hard, because if you pull hard, she'll feel it and she'll resist it, right? You have to make her feel like, oh, I'm just taking you where you want it to go.
Point of makes somewhere so this way, all these things now, all these intentions are of course, has to be out.
Yes, okay. So,
Okay, the secret is
it's also quite tempting to do the flat line.
so which one
That doesn't have much to do with her. So actually, it's better to think about the energy dropping through her centre. So feel the difference. So I'm going to take the line down just on the outside of your back.
as well.
Yeah, some success. Yeah. Now I'm
Like
going to
almost
go down
naturally
through.
is each other.
Can you feel the difference?
Yes.
So what's the difference to someone watching on the camera and me? What's the difference is what I'm doing with my head. I'm focusing on a different thing.
Yeah, no, I'm on here. I can do it. You do it. Secret is, if you go just this direction, I just follow. If you go 1, 2, then I won't be able to follow. It goes.
Okay. So I'm going to practice one of my favourite little things. So you're going to be kneeling, I'm going to be kneeling. Okay. So basically you're looking to push me over. Right? Okay, so it's a very clear line, okay? And the obvious thing to not want to do is to do that. Okay, but that's exactly what we're going to do. Because that's agreeing with his opinion. Oh, what's happened to him now? He's also come out of alignment. So, if I stay here, I'm pushing. Oh, actually, give me a bit something to work with there. He kind of lost his posture a little bit. Okay, so okay, he's lost it a little bit, but not a lot. Okay, so this does become a bit fighty. But now he's a long way out of his territory, isn't he? Yep. So as long as my weakness is less than his weakness, that's okay. Plus the fact that this is my choice. Oh, I'll go that way. Yep, that's easy. But if I try to resist this, then it's problematic. If I'm trying to fight him, and I've got that, he never is going to go, because actually he forced me back. But it's much easier when it's my choice. Yeah? So, that's what you're going to do. You're going to stay very grounded. You're going to focus on the weight under the back of your foot as you do this, okay? And you meet him here. And it's the same as the touch we were doing when we were being pushed from the shoulders. So it's not that, it's not aggressive. I'm just meeting, and then when I get on a steering wheel on the car, which way should we go? Yeah, light on the steering wheel, and you decide which way you're going to go. All right, let's go. How good that would be a good. How did you practice with the big ones?
I'm glad that finally, you're finally looking for it. You didn't understand this.
It's not very sexist in this class. Let's just get worked out this time.
So,
Nice. Yeah. Just remember not to keep my camera over. Okay, so as you go back, your choice, remember. Can you finish up? So I have to get round. So if I am just pushing up, then it doesn't work. I'm very loud. This one's kind of curling under, this one's kind of, it's the shape of the steering. It's not a drag, isn't it?
because you're going to guide me, so I'm only guiding your
Yourself go back.
I'm only accepting what we do and only what we do.
Okay, you both fell over, but before you would have just fallen over, so that's an
You
improvement.
can actually now redirect and where was the test?
That is not what the steer car.
I think you've got to start going backwards before we've got to.
Yes, you have, really. Remember braking distance in a car? Okay. You can't afford to start moving when the car's already hit you. You've got to start. In the end, if you went that far enough, she'd fall over, so she would stop. So just enough to stretch, and not enough to make you switch. Let's try something else. Now you've got to go back further. Timing.
It's like almost you're at the corner, turn to get to the corner. I assume that you're diving so. Exactly the same.
One hand's kind of going over the top of the other, and the other one's kind of pulling her in.
You don't even just this way.
Yeah, well, you can, but it's easier. Use a curve.
Yeah.
Just a little leg. So you can't afford to let your arm go back and then you're trying to do the other hand thing. You're going back in the steering at the same time. Better, timing. That was better timing. Good. Go.
No, a couple more minutes.
Couple more minutes. Good on you. Okay. So, just need to small rolls. Prepare to let go. Yep. So, so I've got quite bended back, so I can go quite a long way. But I'm not trying to hold my ground and then somebody goes back.
I was born.
How far can you go back? Test it. You go back a fair bit. But you're trying to stay up. So, all of me, as technically your next step, change the angle of your head. And I'm not. I don't think so. Watch my head. See stage where I don't move with my shoulders. So I can go back quite a long way. Right? So as you're coming in, attack. So you want to keep you want this space, you can have it. Just trust yourself.
do that, you're actually autopilot.
Yeah, exactly. That's really hard to do.
Just noticing also, there's a little curvature there.
Oh, yes.
It looks so effortless. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how it is. And now, just there,
That's why you can use the nervous system, your nervous system, as touching you.
so
There's no
yeah.
intention.
This is our new
It's therefore
You
like,
got hold of me today.
kind of like being carried to the floor. It's kind of like, what? Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. We're going to do another one now because I'm afraid. You know, however you arrived tonight, okay, you are where you're at. Okay, maybe you had a rubbish day and you know you're not feeling as good as you could. Maybe you had a great day and you're on top of your game. You kind of just say, okay, I had a bad day. I don't have to let that carry on here. I know this is different. Okay, so I want you to always try to be the best version of yourself when you're here. Okay, so what would best version mean to you? What qualities would you like to see in yourself that you would consider to be how you want people to see you? Not how you are, but how you want people to see you. You'd like to be perceived as confident. Okay. Well, that's exactly the track I wanted you to go down, so well done, thank you, Laura. Okay, what does confidence look like?
Head held high,
Okay,
calm, mannerisms.
yep. What's the posture like?
Posture, relaxed.
It is relaxed, yes. Closed or open?
Open.
Open posture, right. So when someone's confident, they're saying, okay, whatever goes on, I can deal with that, that's okay. This is kind of sending a different message, isn't it? It is, okay. And who do you think is easier to attack? Someone looking like this or someone looking like this? So, do you know what? When you look confident, you tend not to have bad things happen quite so often. So then you become more confident. And you know what? Bad things happen even less then. So you get a good circle going, whereas the opposite happens if you kind of, oh, shit happens. Okay, shit does happen. And then you think, oh my God, it always happens to me. And guess what? It does always happen to you. So you have to reverse that process. Wherever you're at on that cycle, you have to reverse it. And so here, we get to practice being confident. Okay, confident people only have this open posture, they have good posture, they have relaxed posture, so they're not shoulders up by their ears. But they also look quite smiley. They're also not afraid of engaging with what's going on. It's okay, yeah, I know. Yeah. So, yeah, just before you start your technique, set yourself up. Say, okay, if I was confident, what would I look like now? And just kind of scan your body to see if you need to open up a bit, or straighten up a bit, or engage more with what's going on in front of you a bit. They're all things that you would do if you had no fear and you were totally confident. And you know, the really, really strange thing is if you wear the mask, very often it transforms you. You actually become confident because you're wearing the mask. Okay, so this time, you're holding my hands down and you're not letting me get them up. Just hold them good and proper. Okay. So, I definitely can't go up. So you do quite a lot of down. So what would you suggest I do? So I can't go up, except what's going on, go down. As I give that, allow him to carry on his down, kind of bite my hip, I suppose that's the worst of it, if I'm slow. Yeah, so this one hand goes down, this one is here, and then we can roll it. Or over, as the case may be. Mixed doubles this time, okay, so guys find a lady, lady find a guy, and then we'll see who's spare. Yep, go on, you've been chosen.
yeah.
Okay. So try to get them up. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Just like one sort of way if you like.
Don't take them on board at all.
Yeah, that's tough. Really disconcerting. The world disappears from out the way you thought it was.
You're doing better job.
I am not. So rather than fighting it, it's just going with it really well. And the more dramatic it is, holds it down. It's like someone opened up a trap door, isn't it? Yeah. So it's very hard to stop that.
So this drops. This follows. Because if you try to move it before this is dropped, the lowest level is down.
This is a very good example of what we use. If you have a committed attack on your flow, you get a dramatic flow. Okay. So if I just do that, and you take it right now, you're fine. You're out. Really? No, you're not moving.
You don't actually lift it at all.
We have to find that halfway house between take and throw.
Yeah, so if you do it very, very slow, you break it this way.
Down a bit.
After if you want to set it, there's a lot more power. That's if you still want to do
Good. Now, I was just saying to the attack, the easier this throw is to do.
Yeah.
So if you're being half-hearted,
Oh, right.
that's what happens. This technique's rubbish, isn't it? Right? You need to move away just a little bit, maybe. Okay, but so these are actually giving it to you, really trying to hold down. You get a very dramatic impact. So, I'd like you to take a look at it.
Well, I thought the daughter would do it without stage.
Really hard to don't let him get this
And shall I now?
Oh, okay. Yes, that makes sense. I'm sort of going like that rather than... Yeah.
Yeah, good. Easy.
Oh, goodness.
Most things that I do are very easy if you just follow the rules. Okay, a bit more dramatic.
You're strong in that direction.
So, not slow motion, but just take it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if using speed was sort of cheesy.
Well, she's giving you a lot of energy, so you've got to, yeah, that's what you're going to do. Take the rope from underneath her. That's it.
Don't forget to make it more. One go. Yes.
Very nice.
No, I can do it more.
So the downy hand, you might have already worked this out. You did a really good one. So the downy hand is fair job, right? This one,
This is correct.
steering up towards the wall.
Nothing more.
Down, follow the line of flow.
Just in here.
She's got lots of
Impossible to do otherwise.
It's giving you a nice framework to channel energy through.
Yeah. So in terms of what you do with your mind, just sort of turn it.
Now the steering wheel, isn't it really?
Yeah. Too strong. Then this goes. Yes.
So, can I just Ah! Yeah. I think the point I wanted to make is when you do it, but you're turning your body quite a lot, and I don't think that's great. Okay, I think you want to stay here. Despite my
Keep at the same time as you're
well,
standing.
maybe a little bit, but I don't want to turn my head a lot as well. I don't think that's good. I want to. So I'm happy with this movement. There's a little bit of back and a little bit of twist, but I don't want to twist so much. I can really feel it down my shoulder blades now.
Has to be a natural.
And also I've turned my head, so I never like to do this because I don't want you to do that. But even if I was crossing the road, I might go 1, 2, as opposed to 1, 2. Yeah. So, okay, so looking forward. Great. Okay, so now turning your head one way. right? It's possible, it's just not the optimal. We're always looking at the optimal.
Because there's an injury, yes, so the things have to work before you go.
Yeah, but
If I'm a one-legged Aikido, I can't explain that I've got to accept I've got one leg.
but actually being
The
incredibly
entirely
stable.
on the screen is
Yeah.
wheelchair bound. So there are certain movements you can't do.
Then it's easy, yeah.
Well, that, one of the other guys on the screen is blind.
Should
go up with that?
Needs to stay stable.
You can't change it, you have to accept it.
Just wait and see. Exactly.
How are we doing? Yeah, you're catching it. Oops, he knotted you up. That's right.
He uses the whole power. That's why I'm trying to.
If you move, because as a process, if less, I can show you this. Yeah. So this is going to be.
How can you stay in contact with the energy?
If I just do this, this is where I can go. Now to the
Yeah. Always where you slam into a wall, wait for the next door. So we did want this one the other day, but it's maybe a bad one. It's be using for acceptance. So he's bound me quite tight. There's really not a lot of movement. Well, there's no movement really off my wrist. I cannot move those. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put it in this place. I can't move my arms, but he's not only got my arms. I've got my body. That feels better already. Okay, and I know I've got him a bit better. Right? And it's given me some connection I didn't have. And because I kept my arms in the same place, now they're in front of me as opposed to down by my side. Okay. I still haven't solved the problem, have I? I can't lift up, I can't go forward, but I can rotate. Okay, so still, this is tough. I can't lift up from my wrist. Has he got my elbows? Oh, no, he's not got my elbows. So, if a bit of you gets stuck, find another bit of your body that can move. Except, oh, my hands are stuck. Oh, okay. Well, I can rotate. I can't lift from my wrist. I can lift from my hand. Or elbow. Yep. Rotate. Lift and step to the side. And here, what we're going to do is just roll that round. We're not trying to cut his arm off. Okay, we're continuing with our steering wheel theme of circles. We're going over the top and round, and now we're following our partner because he's changed. Yeah, remember what I said earlier? He'll be adapting the whole time. So he had me here, then he had me here, then he had me here. Then he doesn't want to go down. If I do this wrong, he's going to resist me there too. So he's constantly changing. And if I'm getting it right, he's trying to get out of that so he has another opportunity to attack me. So as he's moving, I should be moving and adjusting accordingly. Yeah? Make sense? It's your last movement of the night. Make it good. All right. Where she goes, nobody knows. Who are you going to end up with now? Yay! Sorry, that's not a very good teacher at all, am I? Lift from the elbow. Sit to the side. And okay, so now take chances now.
we never mind. What am I going to do at the moment? I'm going to push
push you down, aren't I? You want to go down?
Yes.
No, you're resisting, aren't you? Right. I'm not being very successful by pushing. Okay. So you don't want to go down. So I don't try to take you down. What I do is I take you forward. Then release. So I just roll.
Where maybe we use the balance.
Okay. Or I could roll your
One is
shoulder.
that way.
Or I could take my hand and slip that down.
That way, you don't open. Where's the resistance? This. You can take one.
Okay. Gentle. If you're strong, I'll feel strength and I'll be strong
If
back.
it's hands,
Okay, so,
it's elbow, like a sword.
like,
So this point,
well, I'm hard like that. It's stiffened up, isn't it? So,
this point push somewhere else.
very light.
Backwards this way, you can actually, you can turn it around like Ura. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, because, look again.
Okay, so when you're struggling,
Going this way, turn.
Okay, I see.
I'm not going to try and take them there because you don't want them there. But if I go this way, so as soon as you feel things are tightening up, stop moving, go in a different direction.
Yes.
Yes. Good. Now, just follow this. Lift from your elbow. Gentle here, gentle, gentle. Keep going down and forward. Yes. Very good. Ease up, ease up, ease up. Relax, relax, relax. Roll. Lift. We focus together. And you're lifting. Remember, keep running around your ears.
That means at this point you're gonna follow. You see? Roll. At this point.
Roll again, roll forward. Nice. Everything is a smooth transition.
So,
Yeah, see, like, yeah, the waves, so make it go too far.
Strong like that.
Go with it from there, and then take it further.
Feel it, that's what you need to have. Okay, so. Or do we want to just skip off in the ball?
yeah, slow on the front. Yes.
Don't go above the cars. Like that, shall we?
No matter what it's auto, correct?
You always have to think about where.
Kind of a sword, for instance, has to be followed. At least we can 99% of all activities movements. But also some people
Now
go
we gain your centre. What did you do?
would be different.
Because
Because again, nobody's all exactly the
going down
same.
in that direction is now no good forward. Stay there.
Drop, but never come up again.
So I know.
Always there, all going lower.
Right? So the direction is forward.
I'm going to do exactly the same.
The closer you get to the ground, the more forward I go. Because the more unbalanced you are. In the end, you will find the map. And then I'll join you. Does that make sense?
So that's why, once you decide to get a specific level, yeah, I'm not going further. Follow this is the best.
Really good.
Maintain lower, 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 lower.
Okay. Okay, so we've kind of touched the end of the thing. But I hope, always I want you to just go away and think about this a bit, okay? It's nice to learn the shapes. It's nice to be able to remember how that worked. It's much more important to understand the principles. Okay, so the principle is when you're feeling resistance, stop banging your head against it. Move in a direction where you've got some freedom of movement, right? That's manifested in our physical bodies on the mat in Aikido. So often we clash with our partner, right? So you can carry on doing that if you want for the whole of your Aikido career, or you can start to pay attention to when you feel those bangs and think, could I have avoided that? How could I have carried in a positive way forward? Okay? So the equivalent in our daily life is you say black, I say white, bang, 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 and we can go on like that forever. Or we can start to adapt our behaviour and say, okay, black, interesting. I need to understand black a bit more. Tell me all about black. Okay? And then usually when people have been heard, they're willing to listen more. Not always. In which case, don't bother, walk away. Because there's no point having that argument. You're not going to get anywhere. Why get upset about it? Because someone doesn't want to engage. But if they're willing to listen, when you've got all the information out on both sides, maybe you move towards black. Maybe black moves towards right. Maybe you both meet in the middle and get a shade grey. Who knows? But just you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. You can get upset about it and you say, I hoped it wouldn't rain, but it is raining. Wait, back on. That's what I'll do. I'll put my umbrella up and I'll be fine. Yeah, so we can adapt. That's what it's all about. Okay, any questions, any thoughts?
Yes, good.
Good, excellent. Thank you, online team. So we're going to bow to them.
Thank you, everyone.
And now a bow to each other in a circle. So if you could close the circle for me, Noah. Lovely.
Thank you, everyone.
And now we're bow to the universe and each other. Thank you very much for coming. It was never the same without you, okay, so it's a lot more fun that you've got more people to practice with. Hope you enjoyed it first time out. Phil, I hope it's becoming more comfortable. And you two are really becoming very solid part of this, which is great. Thank you. We're done. Okay, just going to turn off the recording.